Good morning, Victoria Vaughan,
Hello.
Editor-in-Chief of Nursing in Practice. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi.
What is the Nursing in Practice's remit, editorial remit?
It's to support, educate and inform community nurses and practice nurses in their role.
And can you give us an example of a typical Nursing in Practice story or feature?
Well, we have about 12 clinical features, which covers anything from respiratory to wound care to dermatology. So the usual things that practice nurses would see in clinic. We have a features section where we cover clinical features such as explaining breast cancer genes and a celebrity interview with a relevant kind of celebrity such as Joe Brand, for example, and a news section and a professional section where we do a nurse profile of a nurse doing something in the field that's kind of interesting but relevant, such as a Syrian refugee nurse. And we also carry a professional development piece, so how to kind of further your career or get a new qualification in the field of practice nursing and community nursing.
You mentioned there about sort of celebrity profiles like Joe Brand and obviously nurses obviously, highlighting their best practice.
Sure.
How do you source those candidates, in terms of celebrity and the nurses?
With the celebrities, it can be quite tricky because you have to get hold of their agents and things like that. But basically, we look at charities, these types of celebrities that are supporting charities, and if there's been a news story recently where a celebrity has been quoted or coming out and speaking about a certain issue, then we'll try and make contact with them. It's kind of got to be a health related issue, obviously, or they've got a personal health issue that they're promoting in some way, so that's kind of where we look for the celebrity interviews. With the nurse profiles, it's more about if there's a topic, a current affairs issue such as the war in Syria, then we think about that from a health angle, and we'll go to VSOs working in the area, and we'll kind of track someone down that way. So it kind of comes from an editorial idea, and then we seek it out basically.
Excellent. Obviously, in terms of PRs approaching you with sort of press releases and story, or even possible celebrities that they're working with, how best can PRs approach you with any ideas that they might have?
It's best really to approach via email because we're quite busy answering phones, things like that. So it's best to approach via email and to think of whether it's actually relevant to our audience, because we don't cover hospital nurses and we don't cover pharmaceuticals. So there are a couple of things that we get sent that we have to explain, oh no, that's not really what we do. But when it comes to kind of political, career and clinical items that they deal with in practice every day, they're the things that we would cover. So I think it's important to understand what we cover and then email us and kind of top it with this is about X, and then we know to kind of look further into it.
With Nursing in Practice, it comes out 6 issues a year.
That's right, yes.
So in terms of deadlines, if PRs are planning a campaign or anything like that, or in terms of the stories, is there any sort of key deadlines that they should take a note of?
Yes, we sort of have a 6-week lead-in time to any issue. So it's bi-monthly, so from January is when the first edition comes out. So every other month. So if you think the start of February to get it into the March issue, and so on like that really. So about a 4-week lead-in time, 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah.
Thank you.